Very prominent Oscar award-winning director who showed up in his robe, asked me to take my clothes off and said he needed to take Polaroids of me, and that if I did X, Y, and Z, I would be the next Marvel character.
There's no jobs. There's no jobs. People are leaving. They got to go where there's places where there's work. And one of the main industries forever in LA was Hollywood. That meant film and TV.
The rich are getting richer and the poor are getting poorer. How can you dispute that? It's basically that. It is just business as usual. And if the business happens to be very profitable in selling human bodies and organs, that's where they'll go. That's just how it is.
I don't think people always grasp why LA and the film, TV industry is so difficult sometimes. And I feel like it's because people don't really understand how much of a freelance gig lifestyle this industry is. The only people with real job security are people who work on the business side in the very business aspects. They are agents, managers, producers, work in marketing or logistics for a streamer. They are those people's assistants and the teams around them. And if they're the assistants, they're not even paid very well. But the rest of everybody, if you want to be a writer, if you want to be a director, if you want to work on set in the art department, hair and makeup, wardrobe, locations, whatever, you are a freelancer. When your movie ends that you were working on, or the show ends, or the season ends, you're out of a job. That's what that means. Yes, you could have something else lined up, of course, but it's not guaranteed, especially right now. Some post houses, I will say, do keep people on full time, but some editors are freelancers. And I think if you are someone who has a really hard time not knowing where your next paycheck comes from or hustling to figure it out, be 3 months proactive, this is a really hard industry to survive in.
And I think that's because people don't really talk about the crew aspect of things, It's like, I do that. I'm a freelancer, and it is gig to gig. It's just, she's right when he's like, yeah, you can work on a feature that's like a month long, and then all of a sudden the feature's gone. And it's like, okay, well, the feature's done. If you don't have another gig lined up, you're pretty much just treading water.
Yeah.
Until something else pops up. So
that's kind of, I feel like that's how it is in general for a lot of entrepreneurs and having your own business and stuff for video stuff as well. Do videography, little small video production, but then I also do tattoos, and there's slow seasons for that as well. Around the holiday times, people are saving, so you got to kind of always be ready for these ebbs and flows of a lot of industries.
And that's just smart business thinking. It's like how you said, it's just be prepared for things. You never know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
Your job is never 100% guaranteed, unfortunately. But I think if I were to offer any advice to people, I'm not like people are asking me for advice, but I would say that don't try and stick to just one thing if you're a freelancer in film. Try and maybe do other stuff. So that way, okay, the gig that for example, I do G&E. I do a gig for a month, G&E, and then there's no G&E gigs for another month or so. But I also do art department, or I also do makeup or whatever. Okay, well, I got this other gig in the next month. That's one of those that I can go do.
Yeah, and so then also your networking, your friend group, your people that you kind of always getting gigs through,
Yeah, it's word of mouth, I say, and I'm pretty sure there's people who would disagree with me on that, but I think it's word of mouth because I've never gotten a gig hey, can we look at your resume? No. It's always hey, I have someone who can do this gig.
Oh yeah, I know a guy. Yeah.
Yeah, I know a guy who knows a guy or whatever. That's essentially how it happens for me. I don't get hit up by employers looking hey, can we take a look at your resume or anything like that? No.
Yeah, so that's pretty much your number one ways is just word of mouth.
100%.
Yeah,
100%.
And that's good. Obviously it's worked out for you. You've been able to consistently do this for
thank God.
This long, which is how long you been doing now?
I went to school for it in 2013, 2016, 2015 is when I started doing more work. So almost 10 years.
In an industry like this, especially not being in a big old hub like, LA or anything like that, to be able to be out in Arizona and do it.
It's very niche. It's the big central hubs for it is definitely LA, New York, Atlanta, and then abroad, Canada.
Yeah.
Definitely, if you're not in one of those hubs, it's definitely more niche. It's definitely a lot smaller. Gig to gig, I think, is a little bit easier to do in LA because you can do, it's because that's a hub.
Yeah.
Compared to other states that neighbor it.
Every movie is a business that closes down shop once movie wraps. Next movie is the same cycle over again.
Mm-hmm. You're either a giglionaire or you're hustling it.
They don't seem to understand we are always looking for a job, always. Finding a job that's flexible in time is the single greatest thing you can do as an artist.
Yeah, that's another thing you can do is find a job that is super flexible that you can do, and probably being your own boss of another company or whatever, another business.
I
is
mean,
probably
that's
the way
why I
to
got
go.
into tattooing, honestly.
There you go.
'cause
You're your own boss.
I wasn't always consistent with video stuff.
Yeah.
One of the bitterest pills to swallow about working in Hollywood is that it is not a meritocracy and hard work does not equal success. The reality is you can do everything right. You can have the connections. You can write the amazing script. You can sell the show. You can get staffed. You can get hired for a rewrite, and it can still be an uphill battle, a total slog. Projects can get yanked, canceled, pulled. Stuff that was promised can completely fail and fall apart. You can have what seems like a huge, incredible win, and the project dies on the vine. There just really is no guarantee of success in Hollywood.
Yeah.
And the sooner
That actually makes me think. I've been watching this series on YouTube where he just goes through like every year, and it's like all of the canceled sitcoms from 2003.
Yeah.
It's like all these random sitcoms with like people, like the guy from The Office, Steve Carell, like in some other shows that like didn't work out beforehand, and like they only aired like 10 season or
Yeah,
10
there's
episodes, and there was
bunch
like
of those.
18 like, so some of these things, it's like these shows, there's 8 episodes just
Yeah.
somewhere that never got shown. They're like, we're never gonna air the rest.
You have to remember it's a business, man. So if it doesn't perform, they're gonna just, it's like, well, why are we gonna keep paying for it?
Isn't that crazy though? Just to, like, like she said, like you're all excited, like, oh, mom, I got picked up. We're gonna have a show. It's gonna be out, and we're gonna start
Yeah.
filming it, and then like first season canceled. Bam, we didn't even finish the first season.
100%. And that's just, I was told from a very wise older man when I was starting film. He was like, film is a beast of famine.
Mm-hmm.
It's you're always going to be scrounging to find the next gig, and even if you think that you're set, that could always totally change. Like how she was saying, you could win the award, you could have the Emmy nominated show, but you never know when that's
Yeah.
hey, we're gonna cut that Emmy nominated show. You're only gonna get one more season, and that's it.
It's weird to see. Like I seen this other one where we were talking about Mortal Kombat, the original one from the 90s.
Yeah.
And how the main actor who played Liu Kang, how he like never had like another starring role. Even the guy who played Johnny Cage, and a lot of people liked his performance in there. And because they had disagreements, they killed off Johnny Cage in the second movie. He didn't reprise
You're right,
his
he
role.
did.
And since then, he's only been in like, because before that, I guess he was doing like soap operas. So he went back to soap operas, and then he got picked up on like other shows that he got kind of into, but just all TV since then. Like he never really did movies again like that. That's crazy because that movie was a big success, and these actors and the it's always the studio, the business people coming in and like screwing stuff up,
Studio interference.
Yeah.
I mean, that's why a lot of movies don't. I think that's also another reason why movies don't succeed is because they don't perform because of so much studio interference.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, the higher ups want to do this, but we know it's not going to make sense. We know that it's going to cost more money, and we also know one big thing is that the fans probably won't like it.
Yeah. Do it anyways.
Do it anyways.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. All these people who just don't have a creative gene in their body. You know?
Yeah. Well, it goes back to like what that prior video was. The lady is like, yeah, the people who have the job security are like the business people.
Yeah. Yeah, for real.
For me, what currently looks like success in this industry is literally just making enough money every year so I can keep my WGA health insurance and then hopefully get a little bit further down the road of my pension.
You got like movies that do make a lot. And obviously Hollywood makes a lot of money. You see how much some of these movies gross and whatever. And it's like how much some of these actors are getting paid.
100%. They're getting.
And then you got people like this who are just trying to like keep their insurance, and that's a win for them.
Don't know the exact math, but I could say that maybe like a quarter of a movie's budget goes to probably just the actors alone.
Yeah.
It's like, meanwhile, below the line people and even higher ups, like above the line, like the producers and the directors might not get nearly as much. Unless you're a big name director like Denis or like Jon Favreau or whatever, you'll get a bigger pay. Obviously you'll be better paycheck because you're notoriety. But like all the below the line people of that probably won't even see. Yeah, like we get fractions.
That is so crazy though, because that's really the heart of it too. Like that's making the whole thing move. Don't get me wrong, these people are in front of the camera, but nowadays stars, it's showing that like it's like how many movies just recently came out with these big names, and they all didn't do that great.
Yeah, the age of stardom of like celebrities of the celebrity is over.
Yeah, like the movie star is over.
There you go. The age of the movie star is over. Like it's just like it's not as prevalent, and I think it's because of a lot of social media.
Yeah.
Because it's like we have influencers, we have people, we have YouTube.
Yeah.
We can watch like
exactly what you want to watch. Somebody's made that for you.
100%.
Yeah.
And
without a whole studio interference of like.
Exactly.
There's been many times in my life where I've been propositioned to get a huge role. I've lost my agency because I went to the hotel room, which I can't believe they would send me to, of a very prominent Oscar award-winning director who showed up in his robe, asked me to take my clothes off and said he needed to take Polaroids of me, and that if I did X, Y, and Z, I would be the next Marvel character. I didn't do that, and my agency fired me because I left this director's room. A lot of my other male friends have gone through with both men and women in this industry, but there's a double standard, and this is where I bring Terry Crews. Terry Crews comes out and says it, people are laughing at him. They kick him out. Why? Because he's a man that represents masculinity, and I think our society is less ready to hear that situation going on with men than they are with women, actually. Look.
No, I agree with that. I agree with that. That's like, it's like the side of the stories you don't hear.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's happening for guys too, you know, which is insane to think that it's, you know, in general, it's insane for everybody. A former actor told me there's one part in hundreds who want that part. People will exploit their power. People will do whatever to get that part. I mean, it's true. Like,
well, I feel like if you're willing to sell your soul, man, come on.
Some people it is, I guess, to get at the top, to be invited to the Met Gala or all that kind of BS, you know?
Get invited to the Met Gala where everyone is wearing
weird ass
trash, literal garbage.
Many people are ready to hear it, but a lot of men are genuinely scared to talk about it. It's common for victims to not come forward because of the fear of what will happen to them. I hope they get their Me Too moment. Yeah.
What do you say to the people that say Hollywood is dead? It's too expensive to make movies out here.
Sadly, there is some truth to that. And part of it's you got people that want to work and and that are really willing, especially like here in town. But then it can cost more in California. The big thing is that other states or even other countries give these tax breaks. So Georgia, then it's like you can't compete with that. Louisiana, so all of a sudden, and then they'll be okay. New Mexico, Massachusetts, Louisiana, Georgia. That's why all the superhero movies are all made in London. And I'm sure it's a lot of money in the rebates that they're giving away.
But to do a movie that you definitely want to hit the theaters, that you definitely want to see, be seen, what would be the budget for that? Like, just a number.
People will tell you now, like, it's very, very difficult to make a movie for less than $25 million, right?
Yeah.
And 25, and it can go up very quickly as soon as you got a big stunt unit or big action stuff or visual effects. And here's the thing with theatrical, which is why it's very hard. Like, you spend about the same amount that you spend on the movie to advertise the movie. So if you spend $25 million to make the movie, you $25 million to advertise the movie. So now you got $50 million into the movie, and from the movie theaters you get back roughly 50%. So if a movie makes $100 million, you get back $50 million. So if you get back $50 million, that's you $25 million movie got to gross $100 million, just in simple math. And there is a tail and there are secondary revenue streams, but that's one of the things that has made it really hard to get theatrical. That and the fact that people now go, this movie looks good, but I'll see it when it comes on streaming. Why you see mostly the movies that come out in theaters are Avengers and or Avatar or whatever it is.
He was like, when he was saying, it's like every Marvel movie out now is like, that's what's in the theaters, that's what draws people in. Like, but not even Marvel anymore, dude. Marvel has been teetering, I think, for a long time now.
And they don't film anything, like you said, in California as much because it's so expensive.
And it's because California is expensive, and then New York's expensive too, and then it's like, oh, we can go somewhere else and shoot on location. It's like, yeah, but the tax breaks, so we're not going to do that. It's like, oh, yeah. Well, okay, so what do you want to do then?
Yeah, it's a really broken business now. Hollywood is dead because it's woke. They can make movies if these guys weren't getting $10 million per movie.
If the actors weren't getting $10 million per movie, exactly.
Plus, theaters won't upgrade as a whole enough to draw people in anymore. So many theaters are outdated.
I don't know what that guy's talking about. Retro theaters are awesome. I don't know what he's talking about.
I disagree on that. I only like going to the AMC up by my house up north now because they got everyone has their own little nice reclinable chairs. You got a little wall between you and the people, because the only thing that makes theaters insufferable are people. Whenever you got people who are being annoying.
That's a coin flip. That's also, I think, what makes it as well as the people.
I'm fine in those theaters. I can still hear if it's a good like people reacting to it. But it makes it bad if you're in there like a whole bunch of teenagers who couldn't care less and they're just on their phone.
Yeah, I'll give you that.
They're kicking your seat.
Like when the Minecraft movie came out and they were like essentially rioting.
There you go.
So I'll give you that.
We seen This Is the End, me and my friends. And at the end of it, my friend almost got in a fight with the guy behind him because they kept on like kicking his seat. And he like kept looking at and turning around, you know? It's like, what is, you know?
Jeez.
Yeah, I don't understand. Like, that's why if I go, I need to go at a not the weekend when it's like popping the most, and
okay, that's fair.
Whenever I can get these also, I like more comfortable seats. I like to recline back.
That's fine. I won't disagree on the recliners. I like the recliners.
I'm not gonna say no.
I'm not gonna say no. But I will say that like if you go to a theater that's older and it's been around for a while and just the retro nostalgia feeling, I like that as well. Mm-hmm. Because I feel like that's also part of the experience. That's like when going to a movie is like an experience. So,
yeah.
But I would say that like having people, for example, when we saw Marvel Endgame.
Yeah.
We went and the theater was crowded. I feel like that's what made the movie even better was when Captain America wielded Mjolnir and everyone was just like, ah!
Yeah, no, that's
what I think if I didn't have that watching it the first time, I would still be hyped, but I would not have felt that like that.
That's like an experience together, but also it could be terrible if you get people who are like overly doing it. Like every little thing, woo, yeah.
That's fair.
Like no, I've been to some theaters where they were being a little like okay, yeah, it's a cool part, but like they're being a little obnoxious with it.
Okay, that's fair.
Like okay,
that's fair.
Like I understand. Like I get it. I like the interaction too. You know.
Okay, so when we went to go see No Way Home, mm-hmm. and that I'd say that like when they brought Toby and Andrew back, and then Toby got stabbed, I was the only one in the theater to be like, no. So I was probably annoying to some people, but like, and there was another. I went to go see it again in a much more crowded theater, and everyone shared that experience when he got stabbed. Yeah. So I think it varies on the people that go, obviously. But.
Yeah, Hollywood is dead because of greed. We get that. That's for sure. States that shouldn't be giving tax breaks are giving tax breaks. Oh, yeah, bring back mid-budget movies. Less. I mean, I guess they are back. They're just like Netflix or straight to streaming movies now.
Yeah, but also like. The cheapest film like genre is like horror. There's been a lot of like good horror movies that are low budget and stuff like that. So I mean, because they're like the cheapest to make, and then those are the only ones that are getting really like more unique stories nowadays.
Yeah, I saw The Matrix at an early age. Since I came to Hollywood, I worked with children who were abused and owned by pimps. And I always was a fighter in that arena for children sex slaves and children who were controlled by pimps on Hollywood Boulevard that I tried to be very involved in. And so I knew from them, the victims, what was really going on behind the scenes and in high up places. So I knew from them what the real deal was. And it was just, it's a system of slavery. And people at the top are making the money, and the rich are getting richer and the poor are getting poorer. How can you dispute that? It's basically that. It is just business as usual. And if the business happens to be very profitable in selling human bodies and organs, that's where they'll go. That's just how it is.
But is it all commerce? Oh, see, I think you and I differ to the extent that I think mainly, I always say stupid or liar. And I feel like
I agree.
I mean, you can watch CNN for 20 minutes and there'll be 35 stupid or liar moments in there. But I believe people are mostly stupid or sort of useful idiots and not really knowing what's going on. But maybe there's a handful of people at the top kind of pulling the strings.
Yeah.
But I don't think of them as nefarious. I think of them as power hungry and money hungry, which ends up makes you do nefarious things. But I don't think it's evil for the sake of evil.
I think the middle is like that. I think people in the middle, they're kind of unwitting.
Yes.
You know, they want to believe, they want to believe what they believe. But at the very tip top, the owners of the world, like Carlin said, the owners of the world, sorry to tell you, but they are evil. And they definitely count how many people they need to get rid of. They do it in every war. They do it on purpose, and they do own everything. The owners of the world are evil.
And then how does this trickle down into Hollywood? And then how did Hollywood get so infected with horrible ideas? And how did they all get on the exact same page?
No, I mean,
it's their propaganda machine. That's how.
Facts. No, it's an evil world we live in, man.
Yeah, it's like, and that's crazy because some just like entertainment, they just totally infiltrated, and you can't even, now you can't even watch movies without there being some type of message, slid in there. It's funny, I never hated Roseanne. In fact, liked her a lot despite what I read about her. She just gave me good vibes. Now it makes sense.
I like that one.
No one owns the world but Jesus.
Amen.
Okay, but why did she endorse Trump? Okay, there we go.
See, that's the thing. It's like, why does everything have to be political, man? It's like
just ignore everything the person said and go right.
It's a good versus evil thing. That's what it is.
We are not mad enough. All those people labeled as crazy are telling the truth, and now we know we are not mad enough. Yeah.
Did you guys know that in 2022 there were 142,000 film and TV jobs? In just 2024, that was down to 100,000. It's a 30% wipeout. There are all types of things that are going on in this world. We had the streaming services come along, right? They offered all this stuff for free for $8.99 a month, so the consumer got addicted to the free stuff, and they crushed the main. I come from the media business, right? So here's how the media business works for those of you guys that don't know. Media companies create this thing that we call content, right? Whether it was Vogue magazine or Condé Nast or NBC or CBS or Viacom, they're content creators. Then they draw these eyeballs, right? We call them viewers, right? And then they take those eyeballs and they sell them to advertisers. Advertising has always been the main means, right? Well, when the streamers came along, we paid $9 a month for no commercials, right? So everybody got addicted to that. Now they're trying to get advertising back in there because they got no revenue streams. So that alone just screwed up the industry, and it has been in a free fall since. Actual production shoot days, film, TV production days that they were shooting the film or the TV show have collapsed by 58%. Okay. In 2021, it peaked at just a shade over 18,000 shoot days. Then 2024 was down to just a shade over 7,000 shoot days. It's getting absolutely crushed. And 2025 was on track to be even worse. Half of all productions now for film and TV are shot abroad. Okay. We're talking the UK, Canada, Georgia. I've heard all different parts of Europe. And one of the biggest things here are the tax incentives, right? These productions typically are expensive. If you have a big budget movie or a big budget TV show, it's expensive. And like my guy told me, you can't have a guy on set that's unionized in LA who sits there and tells people not to trip on a wire that's making $1,000 a day. You can't shoot film and TV when the rates are like that. So people are going to places where they're getting the tax break, they have non-unionized labor, and LA's missing out. And it's costing a lot of people a lot of jobs, and it's crushing this economy. LA does feel a little bit dead. And one of the reasons that I quickly realized, one of the conversations we've been having, is there's no jobs. There's no jobs. People are leaving. They got to go where there's places where there's work. And one of the main industries forever in LA was Hollywood. That meant film and TV production, and it's just not happening. The studios are shutting down. There's no work for these people, and it's crushing LA. It's crushing the population, and it's crushing the economy. Would love to hear your guys' thoughts on it, especially the LA.
Do you think there'd ever be a day where Hollywood is just like, they'll probably always make movies to a certain degree, but like just not the main film hub anymore, just because it's just gotten so expensive? And
I feel like it already kind of has done that. I mean, streaming now.
Yeah,
streaming is probably the main hub now.
Well, I mean, as far as like where people make movies at, like
yeah, I feel like that's true too. I mean, people aren't going to LA anymore, like you said. They're going abroad. It's just like it's easier, it's cheaper to shoot abroad. Like he was saying, how Ben Affleck was saying that like they go shoot the Marvel movies in London. It's like I think it's Pinewood Studios over there, but like that's where all the big movies happen now.
They're just going, yeah.
They're just going abroad.
It's just going to be a different, like compared to back in the day, like the dream of moving to LA to pursue your dreams. Now it's like, we're going to move to Georgia, or Atlanta.
I think that if again, you do what you want to do.
Yeah.
But I would feel like if you want to go there just because you think it's going to happen, I don't think it's going to happen.
Yeah.
It's like if you want to make God laugh, tell him what your plans are.
Yeah.
So,
because movies suck now. No one cares about Hollywood anymore.
No,
AI will replace most of Hollywood. That's also coming. Nobody in a union is making $1,000 a day.
I'm not part of a union, so I wouldn't know.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy. I mean, I guess it's good, in a sense of like no other time in history where you can actually do something like this. You can start up a little YouTube channel and grow your own little media, or like make a little movie and try to get it out there on the streaming, compared to like, oh, you had to be a part of a big network or a big studio. Like, so it's good in that sense. It's really like opened it up, to the masses.
And I feel like, but also another thing that I think is killing Hollywood, I think that Hollywood doesn't like to talk about, is YouTube.
Oh, yeah.
It's like your individual content creators, they could make, like, for a lot of the fan films. I used to be like, oh, fan films are corny. I was like, no, but like fan films are literally just fans keeping the IP alive. And I feel like they care more about the lore. They don't interfere like the studios do. They do it for the fans because they love that project so much.
Just for the love of the game.
For the love of the game, and people would rather watch that than the 10th Marvel movie that has completely gone away from the lore and this and that. And it's like, YouTube content creators. One of the YouTubers that I was watching were saying that like, my kids don't watch movies. They watch YouTube.
Yeah, for real. I heard that too. That's crazy.
It's like it's like, so instead of like, the only time they watch movies is like if we watch a movie together. Yeah. It's like other than that, they're on YouTube majority of the time watching their content creators. Yeah, we have like, other than like the few big movies like the Mario and the Minecraft, movie, like some of those that they liked, like my sons, they always want to watch their YouTube stuff, like their monster truck stuff. Yeah. Or, it's crazy, but that's a change right there too in general. Like it's going to get to a point where only a few of the really good movies every year will actually be made. Not even really good, I guess, but like they're going to have to get to a point where they're going to make it where people are going to actually want to spend time and like, all right, I guess we'll leave the house, Yeah. Because people like us, there's always going to be a certain demographic of people that, like certain section of people that are going to go to the movies, because we enjoy it. We grew up with, love film, yes. So we're going to go watch the movies. We're willing to pay the money. Yeah. And that's the thing. So I'll agree on people when they say like, oh, movies are expensive. And I was like, yeah, going to the movie theater is expensive because you can, even if maybe you go by yourself, you can spend almost up to $100, So it's like, because if you want to get food or whatever like that, you're paying on the ticket, and then I don't know. If you go with a group, if you go with your family, you're definitely paying at least $100 or more. Oh yeah, for sure. So it's just like, but yeah, I mean, there's just a whole bunch of factors in that. I've been told this by many people, and one of the people is like my boss at my seasonal job, but he's like, if people don't adapt, like, then you're gonna get left behind.
Yeah, I mean, that's a good place to end it, I guess. That's well, I guess either adapt or die.
The unfortunate truth.
Yep. All right. Well, I guess we'll see you guys in the next one.